The deafening silence of the empty apartment amplified Amelia's inner turmoil. Outside, the vibrant pulse of a Saturday night in the city, laughter spilling from open windows, the distant thrum of music, felt like a cruel taunt to the desolate landscape of her own emotions. Just hours ago, the final box had been taped shut, the last remnants of their shared life packed away. Ben was gone. Not just out for the evening, but gone. He had walked out of their 10-year relationship, their shared dreams, their carefully constructed future, with a curt note left on the kitchen counter. "I need space. I'm not sure this is working anymore." A wave of icy dread had washed over Amelia as she read those callous words, followed by a surge of white-hot anger that threatened to shatter the fragile composure she was desperately trying to maintain. 10 years, a decade of love, laughter, shared experiences, sacrifices made for one another, all dismissed with a few dismissive sentences. The injustice of it burned in her chest, a raw, agonizing wound. Sleep offered no escape. Her mind, a relentless projector, replayed cherished memories, first dates, whispered promises, building their life together, now tainted with the bitter knowledge of their eventual dissolution. Doubt, a venomous whisper, slithered into her thoughts, questioning her worth, her lovability, everything she thought she knew about their relationship. Anxiety manifested physically, a constant knot in her stomach, a suffocating pressure on her chest that made each breath feel like a struggle. The familiar comfort of their apartment now felt like a hollow shell, a constant reminder of what she had lost. Driven by a desperate need for solace, Amelia found herself drawn to a small, worn book on their shared bookshelf. A collection of Seneca's letters, a gift she had given Ben years ago, hoping to share with him the wisdom she had found within its pages. Now, ironically, she reached for it herself. With trembling hands, Amelia opened the book, her eyes falling upon a passage. "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Seneca's words struck her with a stark clarity. While the reality of Ben's departure was undeniably painful, her mind was already racing ahead, conjuring worst-case scenarios, imagining a future filled with loneliness and despair. She needed to ground herself in the present moment, to deal with the immediate pain without allowing her imagination to amplify her suffering. She continued reading. "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Seneca's words, though offering little immediate comfort, hinted at the possibility of a future beyond this heartbreak. The end of her relationship with Ben, however devastating, could potentially be the catalyst for a new chapter in her life, a chance for growth and rediscovery. Later, as the weight of her loneliness pressed down on her, Amelia recalled a passage from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, a book she had often turned to for guidance. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Aurelius's wisdom was a stark reminder of where her true power lay. She couldn't control Ben's decision to leave, but she could control her response. She could choose not to be consumed by bitterness and self-pity, but instead focus on her own inner strength and resilience. She closed her eyes, taking a slow, deep breath. The Stoic philosophy she was absorbing wasn't a magic cure for her heartbreak, but it offered a framework for navigating it with greater clarity and a focus on her own well-being. In the days and weeks that followed, Amelia allowed herself to grieve the loss of her relationship, but she also consciously chose not to wallow in despair. Drawing strength from the Stoic principles she had encountered, she focused on what she could control: her healing process, her self-care, and her connections with supportive friends and family. She practiced mindfulness, focusing on the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or fearing the future. She sought out the company of loved ones, finding comfort and strength in their unwavering support. She remembered Seneca's call to embrace new beginnings, tier by tier starting to envision a future where she could find happiness and fulfillment on her own terms. The pain of heartbreak didn't vanish overnight. but its sharp edges began to soften. Amelia learned to accept the end of her relationship as a part of life's inevitable changes, a difficult chapter closing to make way for new ones. Months turned into a year. Amelia had built a new life for herself, one filled with new experiences, new friendships, and a deeper understanding of her own strength and resilience. The memories of Ben still held a bittersweet tinge, but they no longer defined her. She had emerged from the wreckage of her broken relationship, not as a victim, but as someone who had found strength within herself and embraced the possibility of a new beginning. The practical lesson Amelia learned, and one that resonates deeply with anyone who has experienced heartbreak, is this. When faced with the pain and uncertainty of a relationship ending, our ability to heal and move forward depends on our capacity to control our inner responses, focus on our own well-being, and embrace the possibility of a new future. The wisdom of Stoicism, as exemplified by Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, offers invaluable guidance in such times. Acknowledge your pain without letting it define you. Recognize the natural human response to heartbreak, sadness, anger, confusion. However, strive to observe these emotions without allowing them to consume your identity or dictate your future. Focus on what you can control, your healing process. You cannot control your former partner's actions or feelings, but you have complete control over how you choose to heal. Focus on self-care, seeking support, and taking steps towards emotional recovery. Embrace the inevitability of change. Relationships end. It is a painful reality of life. Accepting this impermanence, rather than fighting against it, can help you to move forward with greater clarity and resilience. Cultivate inner strength and self-worth. Your happiness and well-being should not be solely dependent on another person. Focus on building a strong sense of self-worth that comes from within. Allow for new beginnings. The end of a relationship, however painful, creates space for new possibilities. Be open to new experiences, new connections, and a future that may look different than you once imagined, but can still be filled with joy and fulfillment. Just as Amelia found a way to heal and rebuild her life after heartbreak by embracing Stoic principles, we too can navigate the pain of lost love by focusing on our inner strength, accepting change, and embracing the possibility of new beginnings. The power to heal and move forward lies within our ability to master our minds and choose our responses with intention and self-compassion. Have you experienced heartbreak and found ways to heal and move forward? Share your insights and strategies in the comments below. Your experiences can offer comfort and guidance to others navigating similar pain.